excited that everyone could attend either in person or live, so thank you everyone for coming. We've had a lot of changes. I'm happy to be able to come together. This is officially the first day of my first year completion. So I'm excited. We started out with a bang last year in July and had a party. And as promised, we wanted to have a town hall when we completed that first year, just to kind of let you guys know where have we been and what have we been doing this year and what are the things we've accomplished. So one of our first goals was to get this town hall up and going. I can't promise everything will run smooth, but it's as smooth as it can be for the first time. And we also wanted to try something new, and it's hard for all of us to get together, so that's why we're doing the live and recording, and everything that we do today, you guys will get a copy of it via the email, and it will post on our YouTube channel. So thank you for everyone attending today. We appreciate it. Today's agenda, we're going to meet our Tiny Team members. I know you've seen posts go out throughout the year of someone earned a Tiny Team member, so we wanted to explain what those are and how you could potentially earn one. We also wanted to celebrate our care team members that have been here for 20 plus years. Yes, that is right, 20 years. We wanted to give some company updates by departments. We wanted to give some team shout outs. And kind of let you know like what's next. We've been kind of springboarding everything so that we can take off beginning into our second year, and we're excited with a lot of changes. We'll also have a Q&A, some submitted, some previously, some can do this online through today. Ask me a question. I'm happy to answer anything that I can, but I need the question so I know what to answer. And then we'll also conclude by letting you know when the next town hall meeting will be. All attendees for attending, whether you're in person or live, will receive and earn $500, whoop, take that back, 500 cooperative reward points. And then this will be added to like our home care week, our CNA week, our nurses week, for a total of 1,000 points earned just between those two things. Technical difficulties, like we already had, or a schedule conflict, don't worry, we're going to email it out to you guys so that you can see it, and you can view it on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Cooperative Home Care. So now we're going to meet our little tiny team members. Our first one is Pursue Growth, our little shark. Constantly expand how and why we serve others in their home. That's what this little shark does for us. So if you're coming up with ideas on how we can expand services, whether in the home or any line of business, we want to hear from you. And in return, you're going to get a Pursue Growth shark. Our next one is Challenge the Limits. We never settle for anything. And the team, and if you come in contact with me, you will always hear me say, what I did yesterday is not what we're going to do today, and it's definitely not what we're going to do tomorrow. With today, this is probably one of my most favorite ones because this also challenges the team to give me new ideas on how we do something, whether it's in the home and how we deliver care or in our office and back office functions. We want to know how we can do it smarter, not harder. So please let us know. Our next little guy that we want to shout out here is Empower People. So we want to elevate with confidence, right? We want to have prepared caregivers and care team members in the field. So we want them to know that even though you're out there, we're here supporting you, and we're very thankful for what you do. The next little guy we have is our commitment to cooperative. We want you to be relentless until the job is done. For us, even though we're sitting in the office, there are no office hours for us. If I'm getting a call at 8 o'clock at night, guess what? I'm going to solve that problem because it was important for someone to call me at that time. So please remember that. That's everyone's commitment, that we're always going to do the right thing when it's needed. The next little guy we have is Our Team is Our Family. We want you to know that we're present and we're supportive through major life events. Some days it's hard to come into the office, right? But when you have a great team that you work with and you know that maybe something that's frustrating you. Look, we're like any family, right? We come in, I could argue with someone and then we're sitting down and we're having lunch, right? That's what this means. But what happens in that conversation, that's again where a lot of our great ideas come from, and we're very appreciative of that. Our next one is embrace inclusivity. We want to help every person, young, old, in between, live their best life as they define it. And that's what our embrace inclusivity means. We want everyone to be in their own environment, and we want to assist them in doing that. So, because we have these tiny little team members, we want to take them and equate it to recognizing the great things that you do as team members for us. When you demonstrate, like I said in the beginning, you're going to get a core value, and you're going to a shout out along with a tiny team member. So, like I said earlier, we have employees that have been with us for 20 plus years. In this industry, yes, they deserve applause. That is almost unheard of when it comes to our care team members. So we feel as a company that is something that we definitely want to give the shout outs to and recognize them today. So every team member that has been here for 20 plus years will receive, and we will mail it out to you or drop it off to you, a commitment to Cooperative, which is our little puppy that we showed earlier. So we have Deborah Stewart, who has been here for 37 years. So congratulations. We have Damon Page, who's been here for 34 years. Is that not We have Willie Kohlenberg, that's been here for 32 years. Congratulations. We have Vivian Webb, that's been here for 24 years. Incredible. We have Beverly Page, 20 years of service. And last but certainly not least, Guy Jones, who's been here for 20 years. So congratulations to all of them. And they will be getting this commitment to Cooperative little pup. I do want to say that just because I'm not acknowledging anyone that's been here less than 20 years, we are still grateful for that time that you all have put in. We have decided, since we're going to be doing 2 town halls a year, to kind of separate the categories to give each group of employees the recognition that they deserve. So if you didn't hear your name today, please don't feel left out. We appreciate everything that you are doing, and you will get your recognition at the next town hall. So we also have some amazing administrative staff members and other field team members that we want to shout out, and they are Pam Codd. Gwen wanted to recognize Pam with the commitment to Cooperative pup, and when she needs a fill-in or she realizes something is challenging, Pam does a great job of going in and smoothing things out and making sure that that family is happy or a facility is happy, and she really makes the job look easy. You know, like, hey, this is no sweat. I just walked into this, but don't worry, I got it. And that's the attitude that we want employees to have. Rosalie Cavins, our team is our family. She's a very dedicated employee, even through some personal challenges that she has had herself. And she just keeps going. No matter what it is, whether it's personal, professional, she just keeps going for us. We have Corrine Kahn, that Elizabeth wanted to recognize for commitment to Cooperative. Every time Elizabeth picks up the phone, it's always another compliment from the clients and the patients that Corrine is seeing, and that she's doing a very, very good job. We also Elizabeth wants to recognize Talon Myrick for commitment to Cooperative. He's been a short-term employee for us, but we're already receiving rave reviews from him, from his clients, and saying how great he is. And that means the world to any client service supervisor here. When we get those, we want to make sure that we're acknowledging everyone. We have Dominique Irangi, commitment to Cooperative. Sophie wanted to recognize her. because the parents love her and she's always willing. I think she's Sophie's go-to. Hey, I got something I need covered. Can you fit this in your schedule? And so far she's not telling Sophie no, she's picking up what needs to be done. We have Holly McDaniel, and Sophie wanted to recognize her as well. She is probably one of the top trainers we have in the field, and for us being in the office and knowing that we can send for other nurses to train new nurses coming onto a case, or even new nurses with Cooperative, and have that confidence that we know they're going to get the best training, is invaluable to us as a company. We just love it and we thank you. So let's give this group a round of applause. And again, we will ensure that for everyone that I just mentioned, that you do get your little tiny team members sent to you. So now we have some updates by our departments. We have had a lot of changes, as a company grows and as we move through different phases of, we all move through it through life. Well, we move through that same life phase as a company. And it's really important that we keep you guys as updated as we can on who you contact at the office and like who runs what departments, because yes, when Mitch named me president of the company last year, that meant we had to make some internal changes. And so we really worked on a lot of succession planning and getting the right people in the right seats this past year. So our first one, we're going to talk about our hourly operations, and that group of employees is everything hourly that we do, whether it's a Department of Mental Health client, a pediatric client hourly, or an in-home chore worker type services, or a private pay. That department is led by Isaiah, and he is our executive director of operations. And for all of those services, behind every good leader is a great team. And I will tell you, we cannot do what we do without the people that's supporting our department. So the people that support Isaiah are Elizabeth, and she oversees our Union office, our O'Fallon office, and our Crystal City office. So if you have any staffing questions regarding those three offices, don't hesitate to reach out to Elizabeth. We have Gwen that has recently taken over our St. Louis operations. So Gwen oversees all of St. Louis, Illinois, and our consumer-directed line of services. We have Sophie, who has been a great addition, and most of our pediatric nursing cases have seen her and have at least spoken to her. So if you have any pediatric questions regarding staffing, please reach out to Sophie. We also have Bobby that has come on board and has been, I want to say, probably the most fluid employee we have, because she had a lot of great experience and we wasn't quite sure where we were going to put her, but we knew we needed her somewhere. And so Bobby helps out with our hourly intake. She even goes out in the field and helps with visits. She's been training the new PDN nurses coming in. And that's huge, because when you're out in the field and you have a question, we want you to know who to call. So clinically, if you have a question, Bobby's a great resource. We recently added in Cecilia. And Cecilia, a lot of you have probably met her in the field too. She is our pediatric nursing supervisor. And so she's doing the recertifications and completing the skills checklist and that, and really clinically supporting the hourly department with their needs. So if you guys have not had an opportunity to meet any of these team members, please feel free to stop by one of the offices or stop in, or even just give them a call and introduce yourself. Because yes, we have a lot of employees, and as hard as our team is getting around to meeting everyone, we can't do it all in a day. So we do appreciate your patience with this, but please don't hesitate to reach out for anything hourly to these group of people that I just mentioned. And I couldn't move forward without saying that over the last year, just in this hourly department alone, it grew by 19%, which is huge for a company to do. Yes. In a short amount of time. That is incredible to accomplish that. And like I said, they have a good leader with Isaiah, but a great team that supports that. And that's not just from the office, but that is even from our care team members that are out in the homes every day doing what we all love to do. So I thank you all for that very, very much. Next, we have our clinical department. So our clinical department is led by our executive director, Lori Thorpe, RN, and in her department, this mainly oversees our Medicare skilled department. So this was a new division that we added in the last year, which is our home health, and that's intermittent exacerbated care for a short period of time. And in that department with her are two amazing nurses that help support that department. And that is Shelley, and she is the director of nursing. And so she oversees all of our visit nurses and makes sure their schedules are going and that we have the orders and all the things that make that department run. We also have added Kalia, which is an intake specialist for our skilled department. So she's talking with doctors, talking with our sales team, making sure that we have all the proper paperwork that we need for our patient to be able to be our best in the home. We are so happy because when we started this program last year, we had 0 patients in this department. Today, we're happy to say that our average daily census is at 90 patients and steadily climbing. And over the course, when I say we have 90 patients, you have to realize these patients usually only stay on services with us for approximately 60 days. We have actually served hundreds of patients in this last 6 months to year underneath this program. So we're very excited with what they have done, and I'm very, very excited for the future where it seems like some companies are running from home health skilled, and we're running right into it with all the divisions. And this really completed my vision to this point for Cooperative, was to be able to be that full service agency that we needed, and having the opportunity to have this team meant the world to me, to be able to service our patients as we're seeing that they're becoming more multi-generational in the homes. So we know we can see baby to grandma and everything in between, and I'm excited about that. Next, we have our sales team, and this is led by our executive director, Shannon. He comes to us with years of experience in sales. And if you don't have good salespeople, you don't have good things happening for your company, and it's hard to increase. And so we've been lucky to add on 2 great community liaisons, which is Mitch and Camille, and they both have come in and hit the ground running. I think a lot that has helped this department is the dynamics of the people. So anyone that knows us, we live and breathe by our core values. We hire by our core values. Because if people don't understand who we are and our culture, then we're not setting them up for success or ourselves up for success. So when we added this whole new line of business, that was very important to us. And having team members that know what we have to do, we measure what we do on a weekly basis. We meet as individual teams, and we know what's expected of us. But to have leaders that also have that same vision, and we're all rowing this company in the same direction, is invaluable to us. And everyone to understand what we're doing and where we're going. We're very open and transparent about that. The next department we want to talk about is a newly formed group that we have. So we have very clear operations, clinical, and sales, but we also had to add a corporate group. And these are really the team members that support all the back office things that we do. Isaiah does lead this team as well. And members of the corporate team that help support our operations and clinical are Lexi Kent. She's our human resource person, so if you have anything HR related, she's your go-to lady. We have Carrie Ann, and I think probably 90% of our team has met Carrie Ann. If you haven't met her, you really need to. She sings a lot, and we've all started singing with her. But she handles our recruiting, our nurse recruiting, and then she jumps in on our caregiver recruiting when needed, and we appreciate what she does. Then we have Barb, who has a huge job and responsibility because she is our billing and payroll person, right? So if billing's not right or payroll, guess how many calls Barb gets on a Tuesday or Wednesday? It can be astronomical. But really these, and I know you guys are thinking like, how does 3 people like really the backbone? They truly are the backbone of everything that we do administratively, and making sure that we are compliant with everything that we do, whether it's an employee or something needed for a patient. So we do appreciate this corporate group, and we're proud that this is something we were able to bring together this past year and really get them into a niche of their own and recognize that that is a full department for us. So we're happy for that. Our next department that we're looking at, and I'm excited about this department because since I've been at Cooperative since 2019, this is the first time I can officially say we have a marketing department, and I am excited about that. Christy Ann, our CAP as she goes by, you'll see a lot of emails that come out signed that way, is our vice president, and she also leads in the marketing department, and her assistant in that is Katie. So you'll often see both of them. We've all just become immune to it in the office because the camera's in our face all the time and pictures being taken, which is fun. But also it's to increase our social media presence and our community presence and to support our sales team with what they need in the field. And if there's one thing that I've been a little bullish about this year is our brand. Who are we? What do we look like? You know, from t-shirts that we order for the staff to how we paint our offices and what we look like and how we act. And that's a big driver that Christy Ann has taken on her shoulder to ensure that no matter what office you go into for Cooperative, you have the same people, you have the same questions, the same answers, and you're recognizing us as a brand. And it really helps in community engagement so that people know who Cooperative is. So I'm excited about that department as well. A few more shout outs that we have is really recognizing some more of our team. The first person I have up here is Camille, and it is a Pursue Growth. She has been, I mean, normally if you've worked in this industry, you hear how long it takes salespeople to ramp up and produce. But I have to tell you, she literally hit the ground running day one when we brought her on, and that was exciting to see someone as hungry as we already were to step in and like not miss a beat and really building incredible relationships with the community. That is so important to us, that when you hear Cooperative, you want everybody to cheer and say yay, yay, and Camille is doing a fabulous job with that. The next person I wanted to talk about was Gwen. If you haven't met Gwen, please, her and Carrie Ann, I promise you both need to stop in and meet both of these ladies. It's challenged the limits. We have pushed Gwen this past year to be the best Gwen that she can be. We wanted her to see in herself what we've seen in her. And Gwen is willing to step up, and she has done just about every role that I have asked her to do, and she has done it with grace and humility. And that, believe you me, is hard to do sometimes with some of the things that we have to do. But that's what I love about Gwen, is that she's the first that, I don't know it, but teach me. I want to know it. And so I appreciate that. We have Lexi next to embrace inclusivity. Lexi really supports every employee intentionally and patiently. If you know me, I'm not a very patient person. I want instant gratification. But Lexi has really shown me over this last year what an HR department should be like. And that an HR department, they're not there to do bad things. They're really there to support you to be the best person that you can be for the team and for the company. But she listens to what you have to say, and she's really good at helping you work towards being the best you for you and for our clients and for the company. So if you haven't had an opportunity to come in and meet Lexi, please do. Next, I have Barb. Barb has been such a strong support for the Medicare team. This was a new business unit. Keep in mind, we hit the ground running last July. There were a lot of things that we needed to learn internally. And Barb is like, I don't know, but I'll figure it out. And that has been the last year of figuring it out to make sure that we're supporting the billing functions or eligibility functions, whatever we need for any department. So Barb, I thank you for that, because it's not an easy job when you know I've already got 50 things to do and I just got 10 emails that need me now. The last person I wanted to shout out was Carrie Ann. And again, I'm gonna say this again, You guys got to stop in and meet Carrie Ann and Gwen. Um, Carrie Ann has a background as a school teacher. She retired as a school teacher, and I told her job of teaching was not done yet. What we didn't know we needed as Cooperative was someone that is patient and a teacher. We are always learning new things, and not everyone learns at the same level. So I think that her skill set has brought that patience into us, but also making sure that when we have something to teach the team, that we're teaching effectively to the team, and that we're teaching them at the level they are at, because not all of us are always at the same level. And I think that Carrie Ann has been able to bring that to the table, and I love that, because again, we all need to be reminded, we all don't learn at the same pace. Sometimes you're a visual learner, sometimes you're a book learner, but Carrie Ann has been phenomenal at bringing that and grounding us all in that principle, so thank you. So when we talk about Cooperative, this is where I get all excited, because really our future is bright. Right now we hear a lot of legislative things happening, and when someone asks me, are you nervous? Kinda, but I know if we do the right thing every day, those nerves kind of settle down a little bit. You know, we can't control what goes on in DC. We can't control what goes on in Jeff City here in Missouri. But what we can control is how we treat our clients and our care team members, and what we do when we're looking at them. And then let's hope everything else, the big boys as I call them, work things out so that we can do. What we know is that home care and being at home or in their own environment is what patients want. And as long as we are delivering on that, everything else, I promise, will always fall into place. So some things that we do to ensure that we stay on track with everything that we're doing is our leadership team, which currently is made up of 5 people. That is myself, Christiane, Isaiah, Shannon, and Lori. We will be adding a new team member that we'll talk about at our next town hall. But we meet at least quarterly and annually to figure out what are we going to be doing the next year. So, you know, we'll meet in October to decide what we're going to do in 26. What does that vision look like? But just because we have a vision, we still have to get the buy-in from everyone else that needs to be that vision. So we actually take that down to our teams, and then all those teams that I mentioned earlier, and we're like, okay, this is where we see a big picture, but we need all the lines filled in between. And we actually plan far ahead. Like, we are 10 years out right now with where we want to be in 10 years. If you came into my office and you said, Robin, where do you want to be in 10 years? I'm going to tell you exactly where I want to be in 10 years because I know it. But it takes all of us to fill in those little pieces that's going to get us there. And we break it down in weekly meetings like I started talking about, but even smaller tasks with what we call rocks. It's a 90-day goal that we want people to achieve over 90 days. Then in between that, they get weekly to-dos. How do I, if I want my goal to be at the 10-yard line, what are the steps I have to be to get to that 10-yard line? And these are all individually set. So everyone knows everyone's goals. No one's guessing, ooh, do I need to be to my left or to my right? You know. You're never left not knowing where we want to be. And everything that everyone does every day, intentional, we work with intention, leads up to where we have our strategic meeting and where we want to be as a company. We don't deviate unless there happens to be an opportunity that says we need to deviate. When we make these plans, we stick to them week after week, day after day. So some of the few things that we have coming into 25 and looking at what did we want to do is we wanted to upgrade our staffing software. So right now you're either working in AlayaCare or ContinuLink. Well, there's pros and cons with every EMR system, but what I've learned is we have to integrate AI. We have to be more predictive with our patient care, meaning what if we don't address something with a patient today, whether it's giving a bath, filling a med, or monitoring a blood pressure, whatever it may be, they have the high risk of going into the hospital at some point. And the AI software that Christiane and I were able to view can give a 99% accuracy of when that patient's going to be going into the hospital. So we will be moving and transitioning into a new software so that all of our clients have the benefits of this software. And that just makes us better because we can't be everywhere at every minute of the day, but we can add technology. And honestly, it's also that supporting our clinicians and our care team members in the field to know, what do I have to address with my patient today? So embracing technology and AI in all departments is going to be a must. We have to do more with less. You remember I talked just a few minutes ago about what's happening in DC. We're waiting for this big bill to come out. We still don't know what's going to be cut. But what we do know is if we insert technology and AI in areas where they can help, that helps us in the back office. People will always be needed in our industry. Technology and AI will not replace us because we are a very people-serviced industry. So I'm excited. We're also working on developing not only local, but national strategic partnerships. That was one goal out of the gate that our leadership team said, even though we're independent of a hospital, we still need partners in this circle that we look at. And how do we work together to create the best home care experience for any client that we have, regardless of age, and what services do they need? So there will be more to come on those strategic partnerships in the near future. I'm really excited about them. So now we've come to Ask Me a Question. So we did receive some questions that were asked in advance. And then, of course, Christiane and Katie are diligently monitoring all the questions that are coming in now. So go ahead, Christiane, hit me.
Okay. What is the point of the town hall?
So the point of the town hall is kind of twofold. One, we wanted to make it very convenient for people to attend either in person or online, but we also wanted to let everyone know what's going on. You know, what are we doing as a company? Because when someone asks you in the community, what's Cooperative? I want you to confidently be able to say what we do, right? What do we do? Where are we going? What's next for us? Because just going in and saying, oh, I collect a paycheck, that's not what I want. I want people engaged with everything that we're doing. And this format seemed to be the best way to let everyone know.
Okay, we've got another question. So what do I do if I need a pay stub? Or who do I contact if I have an HR question like that?
Oh, great questions. So the pay stubs I think we get weekly and we kind of pass these people around, but we figured we needed to kind of fine tune this. Barb is our payroll person, so those pay stub questions can either go to Lexi or Barb. Because that really, again, that's what I would call our people-centered department people that will get you what you need so that you're not asking your scheduling person, hey, Gwen, can you get me my pay stub? She goes, oh, girl, this is what she's going to say. Oh, girl, I can't get you that. Let me get you to Lexi or Barb. That's what's going to happen. So we're hoping to prevent you guys from passing around to too many people.
This is one that was submitted in advance. Are there different phone numbers for the different offices?
Oh goodness, no. We simplified that. So this is really something we're proud of. With the new phone system that we put in place, you can call one number and you can be transferred to any office. And that one number is 314-772-8585. Now, if you happen to Google Cooperative, you may see a different phone number, okay? Don't call that number, all right? The reason there's a difference is because we do use a lot of digital marketing, and in order to track that, you're assigned a special phone number through Google. Yes, it will still get you to our office, but we don't want to confuse anyone. That's really for new customers calling, and they'll dial that number, and then that gives us information on that person. So we really want everyone that is a current employee or client of Cooperative to call 314-772-8585.
Okay, next. How do I log into Cooperative Rewards?
All right, this is something we're really excited about, guys, because these are rewards that you can earn for various reasons. Picking up extra shifts, referring a client, referring another caregiver. Any way that you help us, we want to reward you for helping us. So we have set up Cooperative Rewards, very simple to use. If you're having trouble logging in, please reach out to us and we will help you get in. We share the link very regularly on how you should access it, but just in case, you can email help@cariboucare.com for the link. But it might just be simpler just to call our office, and then we will walk you through that. And in most cases, we can send you the link too, so that you're just clicking on that link.
Robin, someone would like to know when the next town hall will be.
So the next town hall, like I said earlier, we're going to break it up into 2 sections. So we're going to always do a midsummer like we are now around our anniversary date, because there's usually big changes happening. And then we'll also do one in the winter, probably towards sometime in December. I would say maybe like the first week. So I don't have an exact calendar with me, but I'd say somewhere between like the 5th and 10th of the month. And so it'd be approximately every 6 months if you do the math. We won't ask Carrie Ann to do the math, though. Never call Carrie Ann for a math question. Just an FYI.
Okay, we got this from a few people who could not make it today. What are some upcoming things happening the rest of the year at Cooperative?
Sure. So as everyone knows, this is our 39th year in business. And that is so exciting because there's not a lot of companies around that can say, I'm 39 years old, right? But we want to celebrate being 39. And we want to be here for the next 39 years. So for our birthday's actually July 1st. Hopefully you guys were able to attend the snow cones that we had last week for Juneteenth. That was exciting. And so then we have other things that will be coming up is our, hold on, you'll be able to, did I lose something there? Follow Cooperatives. Oh, you can follow us online.
That's the best way to see.
Yeah, to see all of the changes in that coming on. Sorry about that. But if you follow us online through Facebook, through LinkedIn, through Instagram, any social media platform, that's where we update very regularly what's happening. We also will send out blast text. Sometimes in AliCare or Paycor, there's messages that go out. But when in doubt, please always call the office.
Mm-hmm. Who can I contact if my supervisor isn't returning my calls? What is their contact information?
So if your supervisor isn't it depends on at what level, right? So like if, I'm gonna pick on Gwen for a minute. If Gwen doesn't return a phone call, or Elizabeth, then Isaiah is their supervisor, and that's who you should reach out to. You know, ultimately that chain would go from Isaiah to Christy Ann, and then to me. But I promise you, before it got to me, it would be handled. We do need to return our phone calls. No phone call is a small deal to us. Every phone call is huge. And so we do want to make sure that we have that open door policy that we always talk about, that everyone comes in and they see us. If you can't get us on the phone, stop by the office. I love it when people stop by. I make it a point to come out of my office when someone stops in to say hello and get to know them. If we continue to have issues with your supervisors not returning phone calls, we have what we call hot conversations, and that's honest, open, and transparent. That is a culture that I totally believe in, that if everyone knows what's going on, nothing should ever be a surprise, right? And that's what we want to make sure with everyone, including all of our care team members in the field, supporting our clients every single day.
Okay, do we have time for one more question before we wrap up?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, let's see. Oh, that's a great one. When will we have another party like we did when you were elected president? That was so fun.
It was fun. It was fun. We're starting the town halls every 6 months. I think that we have to see how that goes. One thing that we've learned over time is to throw a party like that means that sometimes our clients are not serviced, and we never want to leave a client unserviced. And we also, when we plan a party like that, we want to make sure that we have people engaged and it's at a time that we're capturing everyone. So we're kind of hoping that we can do like a hybrid. I don't have an exact answer like when we'll actually have another party like that, because with 5 locations and servicing in 2 states, it is very difficult to get us all together into one place. We've tried different things and we still found it a little bit difficult even going office to office. We're hoping that more time and energy can be spent in the town hall format, so that you guys really can ask any questions without feeling pressured in that. So hopefully we can have a party. I just don't have an honest day and time on when we can achieve that yet. So I wanted to say thank you to everyone for attending and watching this even later if you have time. Really, it's important for me that moving forward, we're really looking at all of our care team members in the field or in the office or wherever they're at, that you realize our team truly is our family, and we want to support you in any way possible that we can. You know, nothing is too small to ask or too large to ask, but we do need to be involved and know what's going on with everyone so that we can support you the best way that we can, so that you can support our clients the best way that you can. So thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I guess we're going to close this one the same way we did the other one. Without Gwen, here she comes.
Come on, everybody. Celebrate good times. Come on. Celebrate.